Hello and welcome to Alpha News Studio. My name is Kara Main and my guest today is a comedian, writer, producer, Arman, Antic, Markaryan. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Come on up, thank you.
So we're going to start with questions and you can only choose one of the options and it's going to be like real quick, okay? Just like...
So we're starting
yes,
strong,
we're starting strong. Yes. Okay. Lavash or bread, Arman?
Lavash.
Yerevan traffic or Glendale parking?
Yerevan traffic.
Armenian mom guilt or Armenian dead silence?
Armenian mom guilt.
Wedding with 80 people or just close family of 250?
800 people.
Gold chain or black turtleneck?
Oh my God, it's tough. Bald guy, turtleneck, it just doesn't work, you know? Let's go gold chain.
Say I'm on my way and arrive 40 minutes late or tell the truth?
I'm on my way.
Sevan in July or Dubai in August?
Sevan all year.
Dolma with grape leaves or cabbage?
Dolma.
Dolma. Mercedes or pretending not to care but secretly Mercedes?
Pretending not to care but secretly Mercedes.
Armenian taxi driver life advice or therapist?
Oh, Armenian taxi driver life advice.
Big birthday party or disappear with an answer, thank you everyone?
Big birthday party.
Be rich in Armenia or middle class in America?
I'll even be homeless in Armenia.
Same. Your mom choosing your girlfriend or your grandma choosing?
The grandma.
Armenian coffee reading or business consultant?
Armenian coffee reading.
John after every sentence or never say John again?
John.
Tell people your legal age or just guess?
John.
1 hour explaining your success or one sentence connections?
One sentence connections.
Obviously. New iPhone every year or keep old one and judge everyone Armenian style?
Judge. Let's judge. It's in my DNA. We have to judge.
Lose passport in Zvartnots or lose luggage in LAX?
Passport in Zvartnots. Please give it to me.
And everything else, right?
Yeah.
Armenian wedding dancing or gym membership?
Armenian wedding. I mean, if we're burning calories, Armenian wedding dancing.
Your reel gets 10 million views or your relatives finally understand what you do?
My relatives finally understand what I do.
Here's a pain point, right? Mm-hmm. Grandma says you got too skinny or you gained weight?
Grandma wants you to gain weight. You know what I mean? So just for the mental clarity of my grandma, gain weight.
Survive 1 week with no internet or one family gathering with no questions about marriage?
Family gathering questions about marriage, it applies to me heavily. Let's do it.
If you become president of Armenia for 1 day, first law would be ban jigar or mandatory Khorovat Sundays?
Mandatory Khorovat Sundays.
Jigar is pretty like...
I need a Khorovat every Sunday.
Okay.
Մեր տանը նույնիսկ Khorovat every Sunday միշտ եղել է.
Really? Tell me about that.
It's good.
It's good.
Այսօր ինչ է? Երեքշաբթի?
Yeah.
Երկու օր առաջ մենք Khorovat ենք արել.
Where's my invite, Arman?
Ես չգիտեի որ դու ես սիրում Khorovat.
No, actually I'm vegetarian. So.
Vegetarian?
Yeah.
Okay, do high chase.
I know, probably the only Armenian.
It's vegetarian like IAN-ով ապարծնում, կարաս մարդկանց ասես ազգանուն կա։
Փոխեմ, right?
Մանե vegetarian.
Okay, can you give us a snapshot of your life? Just, like facts. Like born, raised.
Born in Yerevan, raised in Pasadena, currently living in Burbank. I'm a touring comedian, I'm a content creator. I like to think I'm a good friend to a lot of people. I like to think I'm a good son to my parents, good brother to my sister, good uncle. I love being an uncle. That's like one of my excitements in my life. And I love being the favorite uncle. So it's mich visem to be the funkle. Yeah, I'm the guy, Well, I went with my sister's kids. I had this thing I made up when they were very small. I would call it like super carry fun day, where I would just surprise them and the funnest day they've ever had in their life. They're 16 and 14 now, and I still do super carry fun days with the so that, and then a person who believes in God, who believes in Jesus Christ, and then I try to be a good human being. That's about it. I try to make life as fun as possible for the people around me.
Tell me about growing up in Armenian household in America.
Oh, it was interesting. It was exciting, you know. Inside the house is Armenia, outside of the house is America, you know what I mean? So ամեն տնից հելնելս մի վիզա պիտի դիմեի, որ հելնեի դուրս, you know, տան մեջ հայերեն պիտի խոսայինք այդ մոմենտը միշտ կար իհարկե. But for our generation, it was a bit confusing because my parents' generation they're new here, you know, so they don't know what's happening outside. But they thought they did, you know? So that's why my generation, we had a lot of like detours. We made a lot of mistakes along the way, but we survived. We're good.
How would you preserve the Armenian culture in your future kids?
Oh, I think that's one of those things where if you're genuinely passionate about something, you're going to spread that into your children. You know, that could be music, language, you know, just the arts. So I think that's something that just naturally, genuinely happens when you're passionate about something. I feel like you're going to want to infect your child with that same thing, you know. There's many avenues to do that.
Would you be like a strict Armenian?
Oh, for sure.
Dad?
for sure. I think I would. You know what? I say that, but like, and it's like with my niece and nephews, I'm such like a soft person and kind of բանում իրանց մոտ փափուկ եմ, չգիտեմ ինչի, եւ երևի կասկածում եմ որ իմ երեխեքի հետ այդպես կարա լինի.
That's the vibe I get. That's why I was like surprised that.
Yeah, I'll probably become a big teddy bear for my own kids. Հիմա խոսում եմ, էլի մեծ խիստ կլնեմ, բայց չէ, ուրիշ է.
For sure. What's the biggest misconception people have about success in entertainment industry? Oh, the biggest misconception in comedy in particular or entertainment? In comedy in particular.
Comedy, well, a big misconception is people assume comedians are always loud and obnoxious everywhere I go. I'm a pretty quiet person. You know, I'm usually just sitting down listening to my own thoughts. So that's a big misconception. You know, you'll meet people who are a fan or follower or whatever, and sometimes you'll feel like disappointment that you're not as entertaining as they expected you to be. You know what I mean? So that's a pretty big misconception that I think a lot of comedians could relate to, actually. There's a lot of like introverted comedians, including myself.
Are you a Virgo?
I am a Sagittarius.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you know, like there's a price people pay for everything, pretty much.
Sure.
Right? What's the price you paid for success and fame?
So it's one of those things where, you know, not that I consider myself fame level like that, but
Glendale famous.
Sure, Glendale famous. I think just like any other business or anything else you pursue, like reaching a certain level is one thing, but maintaining is another. You know, so especially there's constant competition, like platforms are changing constantly, like the trends are changing. So you know, it's just staying locked in, you know what I mean? It's going to be a big one, I think. But yeah, it's always changing, and you know, every day is a new adventure.
What quality or belief about yourself you had to get rid of in order to grow your career and stay relevant?
I think the big one would be like thinking everybody's supposed to like me, or like everyone's supposed to find my joke funny, or everyone's supposed to, you know, be a follower. So, but understanding that, you know, especially with comedy, right? Like, so you and I are ticklish in different places. So, you know, everybody laughs at different things. So, just understanding that some people aren't going to like your comedy, and that's totally okay. Josh Akin and Gerchika, you know?
Do you cry when you come back from the live, like stand-ups and...
You know, I've never cried, but I have been like pushed what's broken, you know, because, you know, comedy's tricky because there's only one way to find out if a joke works, and that's writing it and performing it in front of people. There's no other way. So every time you do that, you're taking a risk for being let down or people not laughing. The room is silent. In the beginning days when I started stand-up comedy, that was difficult for me to, you know, not take it personal was a little bit difficult. But now it's completely understandable. I'm totally adapted to it.
So what do you do when you come back home from stand-up comedy?
A bucket of ice cream and no, I'm just kidding. No, it's just kind of back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? A lot of times a joke, the way you format a joke is there's no like one way to do it. So you're constantly like, I still believe that joke is funny. I know there's something there, but rearrange it, change the order of it, something, you know, manipulate how the sentence starts versus how it ended, and then try it again. Like there's been jokes that I never gave up on, and I tried it again. Like I changed one word, I changed the way the premise of the joke, and until it works, because I truly believe there's something funny there. You know what I mean?
So,
I'm a stubborn person, you know.
Tell us that joke.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. I have a joke about how I got a Ring doorbell camera from my house, and then how my mom always watches the Ring doorbell camera, back and then she would call throughout the day. And it's like with random questions like "Etum karmir Toyota Camry na tandema." I'm like, it's a public area to park. And then at some point, the police come over our house because someone tried to rob our house. We called 911.
Oh.
And then, so I'm in the front talking to the police officers. And then, Miyasa Hetevitz, my mom is watching the Ring, watching the conversation with me and the police. I show the police, like, this is the guy who was trying to rob our house and whatnot. And then I start hearing, like, sounds of semushka on the Ring doorbell camera because they're chewing sunflower seeds and listening to the conversation, like my mom and dad. And then I'm like, Mom, listen, like, please, keep it quiet. She's like, why listen, man? Let me ask them a question. Excuse me, officer, whose red Toyota Camry is that? So that's a joke, but it wasn't working. But so I just flipped around some words and changed the timing of it, and it's a killer now.
Yeah. Typical Armenian
Good joke.
mom.
Good joke.
For sure.
I believed in it though. Sometimes I know it's funny. I just how like something will happen and like me and you, let's say we're having lunch somewhere and then something hilarious happens. But you're just like, no, you just had to be there. So creating the had to be there moment for the audience is really where the trick happens. Like, how do I make it so they feel like they're there and it's unfolding in front of their own eyes as I'm painting the picture on the stage? That's where the difficulties come, but we love the difficulties. We love the challenges.
For sure. You made career around making people laugh. What is there a topic that is still painfully, serious and you would never laugh about?
Yes and no. With Armenians, it's tricky because there's just certain things I would never say on stage just because like harganku, amota, all that stuff. But I think what I do try to bring up on stage every now and then, I use my platform. I feel like and eventually it turns into a joke. But in my last stand-up comedy special, I take a moment during my show and tell Armenians that we need to start taking mental health more seriously. And I feel like Armenians, Markaryan coming now, things like depression, anxiety, stuff like that. So I always bring that to people's attention. And at the same time, I like to think doing comedy, I'm helping people's mental health. But ուզում եմ հայերը մի քիչ ավելի շատ լավ վերաբերվեն այդ դեպրեսիայի հետ, բանի հետ, մատերիալանքով չնային. So that's something I probably would avoid joking about. Although eventually that turns into a joke on the stage too, and I talk about how like we even have nicknames for mental conditions like ADHD, like ծրված երեխա, you know what I mean? Or like ADD, անջտված, or like OCD, ուղղակի քթի մազա, So yeah. So I used the platform to make a point, but still bend it around to a joke. But I'm really pretty serious about that because Armenians don't take that stuff seriously enough, and it's very important, especially today and age.
And not just don't take it seriously, it's somehow shameful. Therapists are considered to be like a hivandes. What's wrong with you?
So I have a joke like that where Armenians think if you see a therapist, that means you already lost the battle.
Exactly.
But not the case at all.
No. They're like coaches and life kind of advisors.
The point of a therapist is simply for you to bartrazainel things that you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just to get it out,
Exactly.
So it's that simple. So some people are lucky enough to have someone or a few people in their life that garmen hangistետները խոսան, բայց ամեն մարդ չունի այդ հնարավորությունը.
But also give direction. Not just bartrazainel, that's for sure, but also good therapists would not give advice, obviously, but ask you right questions for you to find the right direction.
Get you thinking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely highlight that. That's something that I wouldn't really joke too heavily about because it's a serious matter.
Mm-hmm. What point in your life you realized that you're not trying anymore, but you already made it?
In comedy, there's no such thing. Mm-hmm. Made it it's just such a movie term. You know what I mean? There was definitely moments where I'm like, oh my God, we might be on. This could be a career for me. That happened during my first show right here at Stars on Brand. It was 2017. I sold out 3 shows back to back. It was huge for me, So the transition from making funny videos online to now I'm a performer and people come to my shows. That's breaking down a door of this could be your career. But with comedy, you never have it down. It's always brand new again. I'm right now writing my new show for November 6th in Pasadena, and I feel like an amateur writing this stuff. How am I going to? Where's these jokes going to come from? What's going to happen? And it's like magic every time. You just got to be present for the moment.
You headliner?
Yeah. Yeah. I have my new show. The title is not 100% decided, but I'm probably going to call my new special Diary of an Armenian Comedian.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
fun.
I'm going to dive a little deep in this one.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
If you had to start all over again, imagine all the platforms disappear, and you had to start all over again. What one skill would you say is the most important?
Not so much a skill, just enthusiasm. Like be enthusiastic about what you're doing. That's it. And then people gravitate towards, passionate and enthusiastic people. So, and that's something like all amateurs have. You know what I mean? Like someone who's pursuing music or whatever, science or whatever. When they're amateurs, they're so excited about it. But like as you level up, somehow it becomes work, and that enthusiasm goes away. So I'm always trying to stay enthusiastic about what I do. Like, comedy's fun, and I gotta keep doing comedy. Like try to go to comedy shows, stay a fan of it. I think the moments that I actually drifted the farthest away from feeling like I'm still going is when I just stopped being a fan of comedy and just started seeing it as work. So now I make an effort, go to comedy clubs, stay a fan of comedy, stay an audience member. I think that's a big one. It's a big one.
For sure. That's important. Imagine you meet the little Arman. That's a 7-year-old. Welcome to my show.
Yeah.
Imagine you meet 7-year-old Arman. And what do you think he would be proud of you today? And what are some of the things he might be disappointed?
He'd be very proud. From a very young age, I knew that I wanted to do some kind of entertainment or creative work, something. I knew that for sure. So he would definitely be proud of me pursuing my creative aspirations. And disappointed in too many areas, but he would probably wish I wasted less time probably in my early 20s, you know what I mean? Although I still believe that that's a part of your journey too, but I had some tough years in my early 20s. So I'm glad he would be happy that I got through that and kind of found my place in the world. You know what I mean?
You mentioned you had tough 20s. What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Look, let's go straight to the chase. What happened, dude?
What happened?
Well, I think, look, everybody has their difficulties, right? But like there was a moment in my 20s that I was completely lost. I didn't know where my life is heading. I came out of high school wanting to be a filmmaker. Oh. That's what I wanted to do. And I still do. And it's something that's still on my list of things to do. And then the schools that I wanted to go to just completely, turned me down. The jobs that I was getting, I felt no passion, no love for any of it. The friends that I grew up with kind of all disappeared and went their own way. And I was kind of like just now all alone. So I felt this like loneliness as far as like, not only just with friendship, just loneliness and trying to figure out like, okay, what's my role? What role am I going to play in the world? So that brought me down a little bit. And I just, I'm not going to say I'd given up, but at moment, and you're not thinking about arts and entertainment no more. You're just like, okay, like who am I? What am I supposed to do? What kind of job am I supposed to do? I don't like any of the stuff. I worked in construction for years with my dad. And, like I love my dad and I love working with him, but I hate that job. It's just not for me. So all roads at that point seemed to be leading me into construction, but I hate construction. So it was very difficult. It was very difficult finding my place in the world. Like I know I want to play an important role in the world. I know God put me here for a reason, and that felt so out of within arm's reach. So yeah, and just I'm an overthinker. So imagine just sitting and overthinking yourself to insanity. Thank God I didn't, but But yeah, so that would be probably the darker phase of my life where I was like I just don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't think I'm meant to live just a regular life. I'm supposed to be doing something. I know, like, I remember being haunted by the thought of I'm supposed to be doing something, but like, God help me find this. You know what I mean?
How did you get yourself out of it?
My fans got me out of it. I opened a Vine account. I don't know if you remember Vine. It was like the first video social media app. And then I actually opened it to promote my music. And then I drifted into music. Music was giving me peace to promote my music. And then I called it the page Antic, which would be my stage name, which is now my name. Just overall, everybody like, it's so weird. But yeah, so on Vine, my sister called me and said, hey, look, they're doing some Armenian. My sister's always told me that I should be a comedian, by the way. Since I was a kid, but I never took it seriously. But my sister showed me some videos that some younger Armenian guys were making, Armenian comedy, and then so I put a few things out, and then like they blew up. It blew up. It blew up. This was like 13 years ago, and then I haven't stopped ever since. So the fans and the support brought me out of it, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. So like, I'm gonna kick this door down, and you know, I'm still doing it. And then one thing led to another, and here we are having this interview on Alpha News, Los Angeles.
Has there ever been a business decision that made financial sense, however, felt wrong in your gut, and did you take it?
I think there's a lot of trial and error when you're brand new to something. You know what I mean? So just the basic stuff. I wouldn't say anything massive like that, and nothing I regret. Everything is a learning process. So you know, when you make little mistakes along the way, and some people maybe capitalize on that, but you know, any story you hear of, you know, people in entertainment, I shouldn't have went this way, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done that, but jumping and conducted is column board. It's just a part of the process. I'm not mad about any of it.
Basically, what you were saying, any stories you hear about me are not true.
What stories have you heard about me? Let's hear it. Now I'm the interviewer. So what have you heard about Arman, Antic, Margaryan?
We're hearing it right now.
Yeah. No, it's no regrets, no business regrets. I'm exactly where I need to be. You know, I trust in God to guide me throughout the way. You know.
What's the hardest conversation you had with yourself in the last year?
Ooh.
Or with God.
Or with God. You or God. Like, do jogi, do come on. No, did this last year, something very like tragic happened this last year. I don't know, Dem shows Levon passed away. Yes. It's been a tough, because leading up to, you know, cancer is a process. So knowing what's going on, I think the toughest conversation with myself is just, you know, accepting that, you know, like everything is temporary and don't take anything for granted. You know, it's luck of the draw. And so it's a big group of friends. So, you know, I don't know. It's hard to talk about, but, you know, just accepting and understanding that this is life, it's fragile, and tomorrow's not promised. Just shift my priorities and focus to doing the things I love with the people I love, and understanding that everything else is like complete bullshit. I'm sorry. Nothing else matters. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Everything is bullshit. Just spend time with the people you love and spend time doing what you love, because like this could all change. One phone call could change it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And another thing that I truly value and I think is really important is charity and giving back to our community. So if there's a little boy trying to be you and trying to follow your exact full, you know, footsteps, is there any advice you would give him?
I think any advice I would give anyone pursuing anything is just keep trying things. Keep trying things. Like if I didn't try comedy, if I didn't try recording a video or two, I would have probably never known that I could even do comedy. If I never played with GarageBand on my MacBook, I would have probably never known that I have musical abilities. So just keep trying things. As far as following footsteps, I don't think there's any such thing. The world in which that I became successful in comedy, that world's already changed. Now, there wasn't TikTok then, there was no real estate. It's always changing. So I could probably get more lessons from a young kid right now using social media on how to become successful than they could get it from me. Because when I was doing this, there was only YouTube, and like Vine was brand new. That was the first time we had video on a social media app, you know, outside of YouTube. Remember, there were 6-second videos. You had 6 seconds to make something entertaining happen. You don't remember?
No,
yeah.
Remember.
If you search my Armenian Vine compilation on YouTube, you'll see they're all 6-second clips.
Oh wow!
And that's how it all started.
Great exercise, actually.
Great, yeah. 6 seconds to entertain someone, make someone laugh, teach someone something. It was a fantastic platform. I wish we didn't lose it.
And my final question: is there anything I didn't ask you and you wanted to tell us?
I think you covered most of the ground. I think you did well.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you didn't get into, you know, why aren't you married? Or like, you know, I get enough of that.
Oh, by the way, Arman, why aren't you married?
I don't know. This is where I am right now. You know what? It's so funny. I just got myself into this question. You can show up. I just got myself into this. No.
And I'm glad you did. So
because I believe in God's timing. And then my thing is that anything I've ever pursued, my gut told me boom, this is it. I knew it. Like I knew that I was going to do comedy. I knew I was going to be an entertainer. I knew I'm going to open a martial arts school. I have a martial arts school in Burbank, by the way. It's been open for a year. I did martial arts since I was a kid. Like once that idea came, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to open a school. Of course I am. Oh my God, I'm going to do comedy. Of course I am. But that hasn't happened as far as, that's it, I'm a married. That has I trust my gut. They say your gut is your guardian angel. It tells you everything. You just have to pay attention. So it just hasn't happened naturally. I believe in things happening organically, naturally, but I want to. Of course I do. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, ladies, if you are willing to send applications, I may say a word for you.
anticlabs@gmail.com. I'm just kidding. This has been fun.
Thank you so much.
We covered everything. We got everything you wanted?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Good.
I appreciate it. Arman, thank you so much for coming. It was amazing.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. Nice little conversation today. Good.
Thank you. It was Arman, Antic, Markaryan. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time.